People of Earth, good evening. Welcome to this edition 91 of Star Nation News. Today we will receive a beautiful message about sovereignty from a lady that has an amazing grace and beauty inside and outside. I will let you discover this and more, as we will also speak about your alien contact. Now, fasten your seatbelts and engage. People from other stars, other galaxies, have been visiting this beautiful planet where you stand upon. Named throughout the ages, Gaia, Ki, Terra, Earth, and many other names. This beautiful consciousness has received a visit of so many different star nations. Among them, some have helped the humans to blossom, to soar into beautiful civilization as it is now. Chaotic maybe, but it is a time of shift and learning how to step ourselves with no help into the new era that is making Terra, Earth, one of the multitude of star nations. Among those who visited Earth were people who seemed similar in appearance, but in truth were from different origins, such as, for instance, those you would call Nordics. Who are the Nordics? We call them Nordics because they look like Nordic Scandinavian Earth people. Tall, blonde, fair skin, clear eyes. Know that human species is so widespread in the whole of creation that it has a diversity that is infinite in color, skin color, hair color, eye color, heights, features. They're all going by the beautiful sovereign name of human, but man especially. But so, there are so many different races among the human species. Those we have come to call Nordics are those who look like tall, blonde, fair races, because these races come from different cultures. Not all wanted throughout history the good of humanity, but many did. Many of these races are ambassadors of the Galactic Federation of Worlds, who came throughout history to help humanity, but very discreetly, as not to really shock the populations who were at the time locked into a self-development in spirituality that still required the belief in religions. And so they believed books, teachings, precepts that were given by benevolent and not so benevolent organizations. Most of them not from Earth. But humans grew to believe in the existence of beings from other worlds because they could see the spaceships coming through the sky. They could see these visitors sometimes walking on the ground on Earth, and they looked like so bigger, more taller, because you need to understand that in these times, humans were a little bit smaller than now. Maybe you would have been qualified as a giant if you were to travel back in time 2,000 years ago. The Ahil, for instance, or the Alpha Centaurians, the Tau Sapiens, the Tali, they all a bit bigger than us now. So imagine at a time where humanity was smaller. So those who had fairer skin and would come in their environmental suits, who would be strange synthetic fabrics, sometimes that would shimmer or glow or be translucent. Humans were in awe. They didn't know anything about other planets. That would have infringed the Prime Directive. They needed to go through their own evolution. So they thought these people were angels. They qualify them as such because of the looks, because of the powers, who were just technology. Some of these beings, people who had nothing of angelic, nothing of divine, they were just people like them, but born somewhere else in the universe. These people often came with goodwill, but not always. That is why you have to be aware, to use discernment when you are told about Nordics. You need to ask yourself and ask them if you are in contact with them. Where are you coming from? What are your intentions? And it's very easy to see if they lie or not. Of course, the frequency, but you can fake some gray species used to metamorph, or some reptilians as well, and fake and access this part in your brain that then activates love and trust. So be careful of that. But although the Greys and the reptilians have gone, they're not coming back riding 3i Atlas to invade Earth. This is really nonsense. I mean, nobody believes that. These people who have come all through history, some didn't want the good of humanity, but acted like it. And it's very easy to spot when they lie when you ask questions. How can you spot this lie? Because you are going to analyze the answer. What do they tell you? What they tell you, is it breaching the Prime Directive or is it not? This will tell you if it breaches the Prime Directive, they are bad intentioned. If it respects it and wants to empower you and are inviting you to do the work yourselves, are not offering you anything for free, they want you to do the work for yourself first, these are good ones. But people who say, we insist on getting something from you, or getting you to come or on board their ships, or getting you, I'm going to give you that in exchange. If they want something from you, it's not good. If they are stepping there to be in the background and saying, hey, you could do this, that would be great. Do it yourself. That's good. As humanity awakens, you develop discernment, feeling. So visitors from other star systems are all like you, fractals of Creator's consciousness. And once you know that we are all, every life form in the universe, children of Creator. Even the reptilians, they have been created as a fractal of Creator. That they choose to embrace the path of destruction and deception is their path. It's not yours. You have a different path. That is why so many civilizations in this creation fight against each other for balance, for evolution. That is how it is called, evolution. Without trigger, there is no evolution. Without challenges, there is no perfection. They are not, these people who visit Earth, they are not angels. They are not demons. They are physical people like you, different species, different cultures. No matter, we don't care. Angels and demons are etheric, non-incarnated beings, which belong to etheric spheres of life, of a particular world of planet. Earth is like an onion in layers of etheric densities. You have the lowest vibration, you have the demonic, the ones who prey on others' energy, who eats you, who create addiction, who just boost your ego, your greed, your pulsions, your reaction, your activity, your anger, your aggressivity. And then you have a higher etheric plane where we call angelics. Still not incarnated, but these ones will bridge the energy from source creator through them and give it to you. The ones below take and have the path of destruction, the demons, and the ones above give. Angels are givers, demons are takers. That's everything you need to know. And they're non-incarnated beings, they are entities. Nothing to do with visitors from other star systems who are real physical people. So I wanted to tell you this, and remember, among the Nordics, there are different agendas. Pleiadians, Tashkeru, Pleiadians. Wait a minute. Ahil, Tashkeru, part of the Galactic Federation of Worlds, are positive. Anything part of the Galactic Federation of Worlds or of planet is positive. Pleiades. It's a great example. You have so many civilizations in the Pleiades cluster. You have the Ashara star system, Maya, others, where you have positive civilizations of Nordic type. And then you have Alcyone, Tal Shia, who has been really working with the deep state and the dark space programs and the dark fleet for a lot of decades. You have also the Altairans, the Achori, who also they are tall blonde. They also used to work with the Dark Fleet and the Fourth Reich and the Reptilian Seeker Empire. You can see all these people you need to discern and know. I'm helping you with this book. This series of encyclopedia tells you everything you need to know. So be careful when you hear of Nordics. You need to ask these questions and know what is the agenda. Do they want something from you? Or are they empowering you? Now, these folks, remember it, because first contact is coming, a civilian contact. And you're going to have a lot of different people out there, and they're not all nice. Like you humans, they have their own agendas. Okay? Anything that comes to the badge Federation of Worlds, you can go, it's fine. But anything else, mind yourself. Because you have been dealing, humanity, until now, with a planetary community of people. And in a town in particular, you have good people, you have safe places, you have unsafe places, streets where you will not go. The galaxy is the same. We just need to be aware that our ways of thinking now, we need to project it now at a galactic scale. Welcome in the greater community of our siblings. We love you. I met Princess Inanna on board the Nibiru starship, where Ea dwells and is actually in the orbit of Jupiter. The Nibiru is a formidable spherical ship that is very ancient and that is about the size of Luna, Terra's moon. There's a lot of people on board the Nibiru, and there is a friend, an old friend of mine. We used to be very close in the past, and we were happy to see each other again 2 years ago when we met again. Inanna is the name by which she's known on Earth. Her name is longer, but that's her surname. And I will keep on calling her like this for you to relate to this person. She is back as a grandniece of Princess. And sometimes we meet. She's very beautiful. She's very beautiful inside and outside, very lively, very joyful, very feminine, and very wise. And we have amazing conversation apart from going through her wardrobes and jewelry and gardens. And she's a lot like this as well, but she's very wise, very grounded, and she's, to me, the perfect harmonious proof that you can merge in perfect balance and harmony girliness and wisdom. She is very inspirational to me, and so I hope she will be to you. Here is a recording of her talking about sovereignty on the magnificent visuals from StefZak.
Sovereignty is not the dominion over others, but the mastery of the self. It is the sacred art of remembering who you are before the world told you what to be. To be sovereign is to stand in your essence without apology, without the need to prove, to defend, or to compare. It is to know that the source of your power has never been granted. It was born within you. When I speak of sovereignty, I do not speak of crowns, empires, or thrones. Those are illusions of authority, fragile, fleeting symbols in the play of worlds. True sovereignty begins when you no longer seek permission to exist as you are. It is the realization that no external force, no circumstance, and no hierarchy can define the light that moves through you. On board Nibiru, among the stars that cradle infinite civilizations, I have watched many races lose themselves in the pursuit of control. They rise, they conquer, they fall, not because they lack strength, but because they forgot the meaning of freedom. Freedom is not rebellion. It is remembrance. A sovereign being walks with gentleness, not because they are weak, but because they need not prove their power. Their will is aligned with the greater current of creation. They do not command. They emanate. They do not submit. They harmonize. They are the axis between spirit and matter, between heaven and form. So I tell you this. When you breathe with intention, when you act from clarity rather than reaction, when you honor your own truth even in silence, you are sovereign. When you cease to blame the stars or the past for the weight you carry, you are sovereign. When you choose love without losing discernment and compassion without surrendering your boundaries, you are sovereign. Do not fear standing alone. The sovereign soul is never truly alone. It stands within the vastness of its own light. The universe bends gently around such a being, for it recognizes one of its own, a creator remembering itself. You were not made to bow before the cosmos. You were made to rise with it.
3i Atlas is now behind the sun, the solar system's star, regenerating with the torsion field of the star, pumping the frill generated by the ether at the contact of the pulse wave of the sun. That's how they do. These explorers are going from star system to star system to reboost themselves with the rayonance, the pumpways energy field of the stars, the torsion fields, the gravity waves of the stars radiating back to space, activate freely in the ether. And so these beings assimilated and rejuvenate and take some power, and they can go on their journey. That's what you do when you stand outside on this planet, staring at the sun, eyes closed, don't look at it, and just soaking in the power of the sunlight. You do exactly it. Isn't it rejuvenating to just feel the sun on you and just soak in its power? You are soaking it in frill. That's what he's doing at the moment. And he will leave the star system in March after having studied Jupiter on its way out. If you want to know more on 3i Atlas, I advise you to watch my two last Star Nation news, 89 and 90. Humans of Key, you are a compound of an incredible melting pot of genetics from even other galaxies. Each of these genes, well, genomes. A genome is a sentence composed of words. Each word is a gene. I will explain all of this in my upcoming webinars on Genesis. Genesis 1 is on the 26th of October, very soon. Webinar Q&A 28th on the 26th of October, 2 p.m. EST, at the link below. Your DNA is an antenna. Every genome sequence related to interstellar material is an antenna, radiates its own frequency pulse. Okay? And this frequency pulse is going to interface with anything else that has the same frequency match. That is how people of Key, you can, through these bodies, not your soul journey, that's another story, but through these bodies, you can interface with whatever genetics is in. You're not an Altian, you have never been on Altia incarnated, but you have Altian genetics, you can connect with them. Okay? You need to separate the path of the soul and reincarnations and the genetic bloodlines you borrow for the time of a lifetime. You have your own soul journey heritage because everything you've interfaced with as incarnating on different worlds, you keep it. You keep an imprint, a trace of it. And this trace you can still quantumly entangle with your soul cluster there. That's your soul journey, your soul essence. Now, you have the body you're incarnated in now, at the moment. You are borrowing an earth bloodline, and that is a privilege because these earth bloodlines are a treasure chest of a genetic pool that is spectacular, phenomenal. That is why activating the pineal gland of this body, wow, interfaces you with everything this body is connected with. That's what the deep state doesn't want you to know. That's why they are trying to calcify your pineal gland. Stop taking fluoride and drink zeolite. 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 In nano measure. Be very careful. You can connect with these people. You can project your consciousness, which is not part of this body, but the body is then the transmitter, the bridge, the DNA, the genes that are in resonance with these other people. It bridges your consciousness that can travel, that can interface and connect on it to these people. All you need to do, that's what you are going to ask. What do I need to do? Meditation. Going within. This is very simple. You visualize your DNA. It is very interesting not to try to put an image you've seen on internet of a DNA double spire. Tell your being, yourself, now I want to visualize my DNA. What you will see is an infinite of possibilities. Allow your mind to be open to these possibilities. You are now discovering this power that is in you. That you can connect directly with a galaxy 45 million light years from here. You can, because you have the perfect vehicle. The perfect vehicle. So fasten your seatbelts and engage.
Analyzing data.
The Sixtus star system is located 449.25 light years away from Earth, and it is home to the Tao Shan Sharakin, a highly advanced spacefaring civilization. This beautiful humanoid species stands at 8 feet tall and has skin that displays infinite variations of colors, ranging from clear brown to shades of blue. Their skin also features natural patterns, resembling elaborate tattoos. And some individuals can even produce a fluorescent luminescence. The Tao Shan Sharakin culture values the arts and intellectual pursuits, including games and holographic simulations. As peaceful traders, they are members of both the Galactic Federation of Worlds and the Galactic Guild of Merchants.
Star Nation News was brought to you by Elena Danan. Don't miss the latest news every Monday on Elena Danan's channel. Video directed by StefZak.